Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Super League Raw Weekly. Another week has flown by, and we are back, as always, on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And as you can see, we have got Joel Scholes with us this evening. Joel, good evening to you, sir, and welcome.
Thanks for having us again.
Good evening.
Pleasure. Absolutely. And Reggie, sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Well?
Good evening, sir. I'm very, very well. Indeed. Another phenomenal week of rugby league. We'll be talking about everything that went on over the course of the weekend in round 15. We will be taking a quick look ahead as well to the Challenge Cup. No predictions this week, of course, as it's Challenge Cup, but that will be back next week. We'll have a good little chinwag over what will be a very fine quarter-final lineup. Right, okay, so whilst we've got a bit of time, because we're not going to be doing the predictions tonight, let's go round the grounds, and we'll do it in alphabetical order. So, gentlemen, first and foremost, Castleford. Squeaky bum time at Castleford. 8 weeks out, Paul McShane, and SOS time. Riley Dean has gone to Castleford from now until the end of the season. Warrington do have a recall option on Riley, but Riley Dean getting Super League. I'll come to you first, Greg, as you're a Wire fan. Riley Dean getting Super League action on his loan, which is a real positive for Riley, isn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah. He was ripping up in the Championship with Featherstone. Got found out a little bit against Lee. But I think it can only be good experience for the lad. Yeah, he's got a great future, a lot of potential. You know, he kind of thrown in at the deep end a few years ago against Saints and didn't let himself down. I think it will be a good learning curve for him. Really do.
Absolutely.
Great move. Great
Good
move.
Man. And Joel, I'll get your view on this. Paul McShane, hammer blow this. 8 weeks out for Castleford, of course, the captain of the club. That's a hammer blow. I mean, he is Mr. Castleford, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a real shame because, the suggested 8 weeks, it could be more, couldn't it? And I think he's 33 now, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle for him to recover, certainly what he would have done in his 20s. So I just hope a speedy recovery for him, but that's a massive blow for Castleford because he's
been a great servant of the club, hasn't he? He's
Well, we all like to see the best players on the pitch, mate.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So a couple of hellos. Steve Couch, good evening. Greg Roach, there's one for you. Joel, Greg's in the house. Steph Sale, good evening, Steph. How are you, sir? John Wilkinson, of course, who comes to say hello to us in the King's Head. John,
yes,
good evening
to see
you,
John.
sir. Have you found Sean yet? That's a little joke between us there. That's the Castleford news. Right, let's go to Catalan then, gentlemen. Obviously Catalan in great form. Great news as well for one of their young players, one of their young wingers, Tanguy Zenon, going to Hull KR on a 2-week loan. Played 3 times this season. Once against the Wire, Wakey, and I think it was the Red Devils as well. He scored a try and an assist in 3 appearances. So this young kid's also going to get a little bit of action as well. I remember the Wakefield game. Well, he played well in that. That was the game.
He did.
He scored the try and assist, and he looked the part, didn't he?
Yeah, didn't look out of place.
No.
You know, I mean, the Hull KR, they're a bit like Wakefield in the fact that they're starting to get hit by a lot of injuries. Castleford, Hull KR, Wakefield seems to be struggling.
Let's jump to him then, seeing as though you've gone to KR, we'll come back to Huddersfield. KR Abdul, he's going to be out. It sounds lengthy. A bad hamstring. Ted did rush him back for that Catalan game potentially. Koo expected to retire.
I've heard that.
Walker's out for the Challenge Cup game. HIA, no Wood. He's got a knee and a wrist injury, I think it was, that Wood's picked up. So, I mean, we put a poll out on KR. I think it was last week. You know, will they now finish in the 6? And, you know, the consensus of the fans forum, of which you're a member, of course, Joel, was no. And I think with these injuries now, I think the fans forum prediction is looking more and more likely, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, is that for me?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
What my worry for Hull KR is that there's no way that there's no possibility that they shouldn't be in the top 6. I think the game they had at the weekend kind of showed, you could see it. The players looked dejected when it came to we're at the point of 20-0. Were it 20-0 down when they were? And you could just see
I think they were,
they were really like they'd given up almost. And I know all about that.
Absolutely.
To be honest, they've started like a house on fire. They started really well. And I think it's all to do with squad depth. And I think next season, I think they've probably seen that and are acting in that to avoid that. They're not going to go down. Let's face it, they're not going to get relegated.
No.
And you can already see that they're starting to build for next season with a few signings being announced. So
quality signings as well.
Yeah,
mate.
I think squad depth is probably what they've kind of picked up on this season.
Yeah,
it's a tough game, and you're going to get injuries. You need a squad to balance that. So yeah, we shall see.
Good evening to Uncle Freddie. Uncle Freddie is in the house, gentlemen, in case you were wondering. Also, Greg Roach is calling Joel handsome. Don't know, he must have a filter on his screen, Joel. Good lad.
I'm sure he's getting me mixed up with Joel.
He must be, yes. It's the beard, isn't it? It's the beard.
I've got his money ready for him later. It's all right.
Go on, Joel, you were going to say, mate.
Yeah, that with Hull KR, just on the back of that before we conclude on that one. Hull KR obviously bringing people in to replace, or they're trying to do. Just because you're not playing your first team members, I don't see why they should give up on that confidence. Like we were proof, we mentioned it before, we were back in 2013. You don't have to have the best team to be the best team. Mm-hmm. So they're in a perfect position right now. If I was a Hull KR fan, I'd be really rallying as fans to kind of get behind them and just say, look, we can do it, we can keep going.
Yeah.
That would be such
totally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, let's go back to your team then, Huddersfield. Watson on the brink. There was I think for the first time after the Warrington game, I got the feeling that Watson was a little jittery. And there's a big article in League Express on Monday where, he is talking and the manner of his voice is very much a man that is concerned for his position. Obviously, he's got a week off this week. We're not doing predictions, so we may as well have a quick chat about this. How massive is the Leeds Huddersfield game when we get back to Super League round 16 for both Rowan Smith and for Ian Watson? Because even Rowan Smith is starting to look a little bit jittery as well. What's your thoughts on that, Greg?
I actually listened to Ian Watson. I think it was his BBC interview rather than his Sky interview.
Yeah.
And he spoke a lot of sense. And he said that after last season, it's the expectation that's kind of doing the damage this season. And I can kind of see that. As a Warrington fan, for the last 10 years, we've had the expectation and it's never quite come to fruition. So I can understand, he talks sense. And I think if you persevere with him, Joel may disagree, but I think if you persevere with him and they kind of do string some results together, I think things could start looking up towards the end of the season. But he did speak a hell of a lot of sense in that it's the expectation that a lot of the players have never dealt with before. And it's that side of things. Joel may have a different look at it than that, but he impressed me with what he said, and he made a lot of sense. Joel,
Freddie, before Joel, you come in, Freddie said that is a massive game, the round 16 one against Leeds and Huddersfield, mate. Over to you.
Yeah, me and Freddie were talking about this at weekend, saying how much of a huge game it was. Leeds are a bit of a beat side now. And I'm not just saying about the loss to Wakey. I mean, just injuries that they've got, and it's who they've got injured that's the issue for Leeds. If we lose to Leeds with the men that they've got out and we've got coming back in, then I'm going to start to get worried. I'm seeing a lot of posts from, and I'm sure you've seen it on the Giants pages where everyone's slating Watson. All they're doing is just slating people all the time. Now look, someone's got to take accountability, and I said this to you at weekend. Watson doesn't need to go. He just needs to change. Just change his style of play. You saw at the weekend how we played against you guys. It was expansive rugby. And I said before the game, if we play expansive, we've got a shot of winning. And we have kicked all the goals. Yeah, we would have been on for another, 15 minutes after the game to see who won. But yeah, if we lose, then I'll start getting worried. Right now, I think we need to calm down.
Well, just coming back to Leeds, they're now 6 points off the playoffs, Reg. Now you always say they always come good, Yeah. I think this season could actually catch them out. They're 6 points off the playoffs now. The next 4 in Super League, Huddersfield at home, then it's the Wire away, then it's Salford away, and then it's KR. Now, for me, they have to win 3 of those 4, and I can't see it.
Not at the minute. Not with the injuries they've got.
Joel, can you see it? 3 of those 4 for Leeds?
No,
I can't either.
No, not now.
I can't. I don't know if Alex Sharp's with us. Joel's waiting. Joel's waiting for you, Alex. If you're there, mate, we're waiting. But no, I think gotta get the banter in, haven't you? You gotta get it in. Right, before we have a little break from going around the grounds, let's jump back to Hull FC. We were talking just before we went on air. Adam Swift is not going to be at Hull FC next year. This is a man who in 163 Super League appearances has scored 108 tries. This guy knows where the line is. I'm going to take a cheeky punt here. He said that he wants to move back to the Northwest. I'm thinking Lee. Now, he's not going to go Saints. They've got enough wingers. He's not going to come to Warrington. He's not going to go to Wigan. So I think them 3 are out. They've got enough wingers. The only other 2 are Salford and Lee. Salford, of course, have got CO on one side, Burgess on the other. I think Adam Swift is going to want to be in the starting 13. Would Lee bring him in, not for Charlie's side, but to give Briscoe, because Briscoe's not getting any younger. He's probably lost a yard of pace. Lee Leopards for Adam Swift? I don't know.
Maybe he wants to drop down a division. I don't know.
Well, Steph's already gone in on the chat. He'd have him. He's already said as a Lee fan, he'd have Adam Swift.
Yeah. That's interesting. Interesting to see. He's still got pace to burn, hasn't he? He's always had that pace. You could well be looking at him as a lead player next season.
Well, the Huddersfield boys are going in. They're saying they've already signed him at Huddersfield. Joel, come on, give us the exclusive.
Yeah, we have signed him, yeah.
Hey, there you go. Teed up, lovely.
But on your point, though, of him going to Lee, I think if he was to go anywhere else, it would have been Lee.
I think so.
But yeah, I don't know if I did actually say it.
I suppose it's more Northwest than Hull, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Oh mate, that was perfect. Well, exactly as planned. Beautiful stuff. Give the exclusive.
I'm on his class though. If he's going to stay up, he's going to have a good season with his next season.
Absolutely. Right. Let's have a quick break because we've gone through quite a bit there, gents. Let's have a little break. Let's have a look at some of the tries. Oh, there's some belting tries. But before we do, thank you everybody who has joined the fans forum this week. 285 more members this week. That takes us to 4,122. When you consider just before 4 o'clock on Saturday in the King's Head with Joel, we tipped over 4,000. That means 122 have joined since Saturday at 4 o'clock. The forum gets bigger.
Thank you, everyone. It's brilliant. It is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. Right, let's get into some tries. There's some absolute belters here, ladies and gentlemen. If you've not seen them already, here they come. Here's our selection of the tries of the round for round number 15. Enjoy.
Seize the day.
Absolute beauties there, and that's why it's the greatest game on earth. All the entertainment that we have just seen in that 3 minutes, sensational stuff. Anyway, over to you, Joel. What was you trying that lot?
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. No, three of them I thought were absolutely incredible. Joe Miller's, he were one of my favourites.
Yeah, nice.
That was a really nice try.
Nice.
Kevin Nagama's was good.
Yeah.
But it's what you always get from him. Problem is, Baron French, Tom Johnson, you always get them beautiful looking types of tries from them, so you can't really say they're your favourites. And then I think the Morgan Smith one was probably the biggest, more from what it meant for him.
Yeah, huge, absolutely huge. What about you, Reggie?
A couple stand out for me. Corey Hall, the dummy he threw.
Good play, mate.
He could work for Mother Care if he was still open. Austin for those two outrageous handoffs.
Yeah. It was a cracker on Jowett.
Yeah, Thewlis' step around Price. So they were I thought Lola Hayes was a good try, I must admit. Thought that was a great try.
Hint of forward.
Little. Joe Mellor, like you say. A bit forward. He had to get a taxi to catch the ball up. Sorry, Joel.
Oh, damn, mate.
Liam Moore, he looked up at the screen when it showed the replay and you could see in his face and he went, oh. And lo and behold, about a minute later, he pulled you back for a forward pass. So, Joe Mellor's was a good one, but I think the Smith one for importance is probably the try.
Absolutely massive, mate. Yeah. Massive. I'll tell you one that I really liked as well, was the field one. It was right off the training pitch, came off beautiful on the biggest stage. Fair play.
He didn't show some pace for that as well.
Now you can see he's come back from an hamstring injury to put the afterburners on like that. Fair play. Right, let's get back into around the grounds. We're going to go to Lee now. Steph is in the chat, and of course the big news. We did say, when Steph was on the show, who was more important, Adrian or Lachlan? I said as long as his dad was there, there's a chance they'll keep Lamb. Adrian Lamb has said that he's confident that he will stay for another season, but the Canberra Raiders are sniffing, and it's no real surprise that the NRL are sniffing, such is the quality of the man. So dead quick on this one, Joel, stay or go?
Yeah.
Stay, Reg?
Stay.
I hope he stays.
Stay, because have you seen with the McKaylee situation? He can't get a game. Thomas McKaylee can't get a game.
Yeah, but he went for different reasons, didn't he?
Exactly,
he went for family reasons, didn't he?
No, is he? Are they going to sign him and then not play him?
Yeah.
It's stay. He's ripping it up. He's absolutely ripping it up.
Just going into the chat here, guys. John Wilkinson says he's going to go. Sean Allen Spencer, good evening, Sean. How are you, mate? Feels try for him. Andy Hewitt is saying Joel Mellor's try was his favourite of that lot. Steve Cartledge, Josh Fewlis or Arthur Morgs. Yes, Morgs was a very nice try indeed. Steph Stell enjoyed the Matty Ashurst one. Matty Ashurst, Mr. Wakefield, superb. So that was their views on that. In the same spirit of what we've just done with Lachlan Lamb, Charlie, lucky or was he lucky or not in terms of not getting a ban? So I'm just going to say ban or no ban. Joel, would you give him a ban for that one on Clifford? Yes or no?
Yes.
Reg?
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought he was reckless. I mean, I get the point that he's on his way down, but how many times have we seen players banned? That
has not been an argument in any similar tackle all season.
Yeah.
The fact that a player is slipping or going down.
Yeah.
Look at the pace one. 3 games.
Yeah. Let's not
Charlie
labour the point.
Should have been banned. But, he's obviously got some very interesting photographs of the disciplinary panel, as Mr. Charlie.
Oh, Reggie. At the end of the day, it's unbelievable. They've only got rabbits, a lot of them, mate. Don't you know? There's nothing dodgy there. Right, okay. So put it out there. Yeah, what was that one out of Watership Down? Big wig. Anyway, let's Salford.
Fiver, wasn't it?
Fiver, big wig.
Bet there was a few of them in an envelope.
Right. After the game at Warrington, Ryan Briley, of course, was there for the BBC, and I had the pleasure of having 5 minutes with Ryan Briley. I enjoyed it as well. I had a little chat with him. And good news for Salford. Andy Ackers should be fit for the game at KR for the Challenge Cup. So that's good news. But that said, how good has Chris Atkin been in deputy? Yeah. He's been outstanding, hasn't
he? Yeah, I think he'd be really, really. I think he'd be unlucky to be dropped. I think he's done really, really well. I know we're probably going to go on to this a little bit later on, but John Wilkin on the Saints Wigan game talking about how unlucky Bell was to be dropped for Knowles, and I think it's the same thing,
mate. I think what was interesting in that game was that he took Knowles off pretty quickly in that game for Bell to come on, and when Bell come on, he didn't look out of place, did he?
Well, the Saints didn't look back after Bell had come on, so I mean. John Wilkin actually spoke some sense, and I like what he said, that Knowles was lucky to have a starting place when Bell's been playing so well, and hopefully,
must be wonderful to have a squad when you can take the best loose forward in Super League off and bring on James Bell. Just leave that there. Anyway,
I thought I was a controversial one, mate, not you.
Right. Whilst we're talking Saints, Joel, Curtis Simonon. He's now signed up till 2025. Great for Super League, this. Question, does that put in jeopardy Matt Whitley, Catalan? Because there's been a lot of rumours that Whitley was on his way to Saints, and the way Whitley's playing, he's not going to want to be on the bench. You'd have to say Batchelor and Simonon are there. It looks like Batauti's going to go. Bell's coming through.
Not necessarily a bad thing, though, is it? Because, you always want competition for spots.
You do.
So if you've got, I always look at it this way: if you've got your first choice pick for any position, he could drop his standard, and that has been seen from players. If you've got two players that are absolutely at top end of their game, fighting for position, you're never gonna let up on your form, are you?
No. Well, I mean, Greg, I'll go early on the wire. Of course, Maguire, lots of conversations there. A lot of rumours still. Maguire's playing his last game for Warrington. Matt Whitley to Warrington. I won't be too disappointed. Surely Warrington have got to be looking at Whitley
all day long. I mean, I've not heard anything about Maguire appealing, so it looks like maybe he hasn't appealed.
No, I'm not heard either.
No, all day long. If Maguire's played his last game for Warrington, then I would not be unhappy at that as a replacement.
No, I wouldn't either. Right, so we've done Saints, 2 teams to go. Wakey, how much of a master? I mean, I took the mickey a little bit on the fans forum when Fafita came back, saying it'll be ABBA next that they announced as having a comeback.
If only, sir, if only.
But it's bit me on the backside, because actually, when you see him doing the team song, the energy that he's got, the passion for the shirt that he's got, actually, this could be a masterstroke from Wakefield, bring David Fafita back, because yet again in that game, I mean, when he came on against Leeds, threw himself around, he'd only just got off the plane, but against Leeds, 144 metres in that game, incredible in terms of morale. Could David Fafita be the difference, and could he galvanise Wakefield to topple Castleford? Joel, yes or no?
Yeah, because they've had. I think that's what they've been. That's one of the key components they've been missing. They've got Jai Whitbread, but you can't just have one, can you? You've got to have a couple. Look at you guys. I said this before this season started. You've got Big Cassiano, Paul Vaughan. Got 2 really, really dangerous players. It's always going to help you, isn't it? So yeah, I think
Greg, can they topple Cass?
I think Fafita, Proctor. Yeah, I think Castleford.
It's squeaky bum time in the jungle.
2 weeks ago, I would have said Wakefield are relegated now.
Yeah,
but Castleford's. I mean, barring if they hadn't beat Leeds last week, it is definitely squeaky bum time for Cass.
100%, mate. 100%. Outstood. Right, okay. Wigan. A couple of things for Wigan. Greg, you were talking about this at the weekend, so I'm just going to pick you up on what you said at the weekend, that there's a chance that Toby King could be back at the wire before the end of this season.
Yeah, not definite, just some things I've been hearing that he could very well, because he was 18th man on Friday. I don't think anybody would have been that surprised, because he had a bit of a shock at the Magic weekend. But yeah, not confirmed, but just little rumours flying around that he could very well be coming back before the end of the season. How true it is, I don't know, but watch this space.
Well, John Wilkinson asking what's our thoughts on him returning to the wire. I caught up with Darryl Powell before the Huddersfield Warrington Reserve game at Vicky Park on Saturday. And Darryl, I just said to Darryl, will we be bringing King back? And obviously, it's been well documented. It makes perfect sense from a cap perspective, because he's only going to cost 50 grand on the cap. But Powell was very insistent to me that he never fell out with Toby King. Never fell out with him at all. So, I think all roads point back to Warrington, I think, for Toby King. Joel, going to pick your brains on this. Wigan pack, is it big enough to compete for trophies this season? The last two games, Catalan and Saints, they have been absolutely overran in the middle of the park. 2 games on the spin now. Not a single Wigan forward have made over 100 metres, and only one player in the entire team has made 100 metres in those 2 games, and that was Abbas Miski against Saints, and it was 100 on the nose. So in 2 games, only one Wigan player has managed 100 metres.
Yeah.
Joel, thoughts, mate?
Well, I go back to what I said before the beginning of the season to you both, and everyone were very shocked when I said Wigan will finish no better than 4th, and it was because of the pack. In my eyes, they don't really have one.
They've been unlucky, haven't they? I mean, obviously, I think the Cooper was a hammer blow for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think Cooper and Havard as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've lost Havard as well, haven't they? And that's a big blow.
Brad Singleton, he's not fired.
No,
he hasn't. He played for Leeds. He came through the ranks. I think he came through the ranks at Leeds, and he was a good player. But
he went back in time when Parsi hit him, mate. He's playing that game again.
He's knocked him back to first grade. Mind you,
that was something. That was a massive hit from Parsi. That.
Oh, that's like being hit by a double-decker bus, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Fair play to Parsi. He had a great game. Right, okay. Guys, we had a whistle-stop tour there. Really enjoyed that chat. Through the turnstiles this weekend, 52,615. That's not bad. Not bad. 17,000 of them, of course, at Saints. But yeah, 52,615, which is really, really good. So great to see. Great to see so many supporters, albeit not Huddersfield ones, Joel, getting out and going to a game.
I was going to say it, but you beat me to it. Yeah, thanks. Cheers.
Yeah. He's not going to let that go, Joel. You know him better than that.
Did you get over 51 in the end, Joel?
Just over, yeah.
Just over.
You let the coach driver in for free.
There was stuff like that, Greg, so it was double.
Well, they usually give me 2 tickets because it takes 2 turns at turnstile to get.
Mate. Right, okay. Here we go. Let's get back into a bit of this. So, Raw Fans Forum Fantasy League, congratulations to Ryan Birch, not only extending his lead, but having the best points on the week as well with 759. Ryan now in pole position to win his 2024 shirt on Super League Raw. So who's going to catch him? If you've not joined already, make sure you join. If you've already got a team. If you haven't already got a team, no point, because you're not going to catch it up. But you will remember next year, I'm sure, to be a part of it. Right, let's take a look at the top performers around 15, gentlemen. Here they come.
Can I just say, Dave? That's as close as Giants as getting to a top at table this season.
And on that note, here's the top performers. wonderful performances there in round 15 there. The top performers of Super League. Ryan Birch already trying to give us his shirt size in the chat for the Fantasy League. Deary me, Ryan. That's confidence. That is real confidence. You should know disappointment by now being a Giants fan, my friend. Steady on now. Steady on.
Hell, Joel, you're taking a battering tonight, mate.
Steph Sale there. Steph's giving a bit of plaudits out to Tim Lafine, rightly so. He's even the confidence of Ryan Birch. He should be on the coaching staff at Huddersfield. He's saying, "Oh, Ryan lad, good lad, well done."
To be fair,
right, let's get into some action, boys. Some action.
Say again.
Well, look at Joel. He's devastated. Devastated. See that there, that little look to the heavens. There. Even the man upstairs laughing, Joel. Even he's having a giggle tonight. Son St. Peter's on the throne and just having a right good giggle at you, mate.
I've been offered to lace up my boots again, but
mate, with the greatest of respect, you're no David Fafita, my friend.
I tell you what, I wish I could bend down and tie my laces.
So then, this was always a big event. Do you know what? We were treated to some phenomenal tries, though, even though it was pretty much one-way traffic. In terms of spectacle, in terms of tries, absolutely sensational tries in this game.
Yeah. Pretty even Stevens first half. A couple of decisions that were a bit, but Saints ran away with it second half. So great tries. I mean, Wigan did well to stick in there in the first half, especially.
The two over reliant on the quality of field and French, aren't they? At the moment,
yes, they are.
If anything happened to them, they'd be in a lot of trouble, wouldn't they? That's lovely.
There was a chat on one of the forums as to what their two best positions are.
Yeah, and a lot of talk that Phil needs to be at fullback. That was beautiful. I mean, this look at this. Oh, stop it!
That is pace.
Beautiful.
That is pace.
It's beautiful. Pace. Beautiful, mate. Absolutely beautiful.
Just shows what the kind of a man he is. He's had a ripped hamstring twice, and he puts the afterburners on like that. You've got to admire the guy for that.
Tommy Makinson there going in.
He was in a bad mood, Tommy Makinson, on Friday.
Well, he missed a few kicks, didn't he? Well, he missed a few kicks. He was a bit upset, wasn't he?
He was chudding away to himself.
He was.
Look
at that. Look at that for a little dink. Now that was a penalty to Wigan. Yeah, all day. Joel,
penalty
you see it the same way?
Yeah, it was stopped. There was no momentum.
Yeah. I mean, what's the linesman doing there? Stopped, and he goes again.
Push. It's a penalty all day long.
Yeah, I agree. He got away with one there, did Jack Wellsby, no doubt. And then, of course, is this the French one? This is just audacious, isn't it? I mean, the fact that he falls over.
Yeah.
And then it's just never let a rugby ball bounce. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, that was Phil Blake at his peak.
At his peak.
For those of you that remember Phil Blake back in the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely. But look at that. Don't let a rugby ball bounce. And then, of course, Jack Wellsby, having seen Field and French do the stuff, decides to do this.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, nice. Just, nice.
It was a feast of tries, mate. It was a feast, absolute feast of tries. Phenomenal. So how ominous is this then, Joel? We're about to see Tommy Makinson going for St. Helens in a minute. And I'm no lip reader. I'm not a professional lip reader, but I do think he says, we're coming. I think he starts shouting, we're coming. And how ominous is that? I think the last two results now, the one at Magic against you guys, and then backing it up with conviction against Wigan. This is ominous now, isn't it, for the rest of the league?
Well, you could see that they were building from that Magic weekend against us, because in the first 30 minutes we were really on fire. We were playing pretty well against them.
You were.
They just went from first to fifth gear within.
Blimey, Roby's not that fast.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. They've just, it's like they found their form against Penrith again, haven't they? Just thought, right, well, let's go.
I think it's a combination of better weather, harder grounds. Roby suddenly found his old spark. They're getting some injured players back. It is, and this pass from that is. It's a pass of the season so far.
It's beautiful. And he definitely, he says there we're coming, which I think is, like I say, is very ominous. Steph Sale saying that Saints need to do a Brodie Croft on Jack Wellsby very quickly, because there's no doubt they had. I mean, virtually every other week on an RL 360 they're mentioning his name.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
what we need to stop, though. We need to stop that happening.
We do. You know, it's one of those, isn't it? But that said, though, Joel, you know, if you're a rugby league player, the money over there is just different.
Oh, of course.
Different gravy. And you know, if you want to go and test yourself against the best, good luck to you, is what I would say. You know, we've got to just keep growing. And with every year we've got new players coming through. You know, for example, I mean, again, you know, who knew that young Wallace kid at Castleford 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he's done really well. Done really well. That run there, gentlemen, that got James Roby 3 Albert Goldthorpe medal points.
Even in water carry, you'd have got 3 Albert Goldthorpe.
Right. Now, I'm falling out a little bit with the old Albert Goldthorpe these last few weeks. So, you know, Albert Goldthorpe, 3 for Roby, 2 for Parsi, 1 for Wellesby. Wellesby was man of the match
by a country
mile. It's not even up for debate.
I don't know what I'd give Bevan French at least 1 point.
Well, had Frenchie picked up a point, mate, I don't think there'd have been many arguments from me either. I thought Alex Wormsley, Parsi, I've got no issue with Parsi getting 2. I think Wormsley was unlucky, you know, not to get one.
Yeah.
You mentioned Bell. I thought Bell had a fine game. Tommy Makinson being Tommy Makinson. But yeah, Roby 3 points. I mean, I don't know.
The Albert Goldthorpe is the journalists one, isn't it?
And I think the same. I think the journalist.
Lazy. It's lazy.
I think it's calculated, mate.
Go back 1 year. Who were getting all the points? Tompkins.
Yeah.
Right. So and before Tompkins, I can't remember who it was now, but there was always someone, and everyone's lips. It's like they're just going to find the golden boy for someone.
Yeah.
And it's like
they need a story. Roby's retiring.
Yeah.
They need a story.
As many accolades as they can before he retires.
Yeah.
That's what.
Right. The enigma that is Gareth Widdop. I went big time on Widdop in the sheds this week.
Just replay that again, Dave. Just replay that again.
You're about to see action replay in a minute, mate. I mean,
I know,
twice, didn't it?
But look at this.
How can a player go from being so good against Leeds to being so bang average again against Salford? I mean,
can we get any mitigating circumstances? No,
it's shocking.
And then Michael Sheen gets the ball and scores a try.
Michael Sheen. Good lad. Happy days. Salford, bang at it. Absolutely bang at it.
This is poor, though. That's poor from Lafay.
It is, yeah. If we were picking on form a fullback of the season up to now,
that's a good question.
Would Brierley be it, or would it be somebody else? Because obviously French hasn't played fullback all season. I don't think Wellesby has been at his brilliant best yet. Would it be
look
Brierley?
at that.
Yeah, shocking.
Well, it wouldn't be Matt Duffy either.
No, it wouldn't be Duffy either. I think Brierley's in great form this year.
Could well be. Yeah.
Yeah, he is, but he has had a couple of shockers though as well. I know you're always going to have them. I think it depends though, doesn't it? Because first half of season, you've had a few people that have been up there, but then Ryan Brierley, I found that he's week by week now, he's just starting to find a bit more form into.
I know what you're laughing at. Are our Hull fans chipping in?
No, Steph's come back. By all accounts, Gareth Widdop drops more than Fat Boy Slim. Good lad. Love it. I'll tell you, I don't know if you meant that kick, but that was a good try. The Castleford try was a good try. But I mean, Lafay and Williams run riot, didn't they, down the left-hand side in this game?
That is the perfect. That was almost the perfect centre winger combination in that game between those two.
Yeah.
Ken Seo as well. Ken Seo, he always scores a try.
Yeah, he's good. He's fine. This was a belting try. Look at that.
I mean,
lovely
look at
hands.
this is perfect winger centre play.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. That's beautiful.
Not so sure about the final pass, but you know.
Yeah, that was nice. It was nice.
Argue.
No. And this man's done well, since coming in from Leeds, Sam Stone. He's banging a couple in, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which to his credit. But whilst we're just going for the Goldthorpe then, so no surprises. 3 for Tim Lafay, no issue with that. 2 for Sneed, 1 for Reece Williams. I think Brierley was very unlucky not to pick up a point or 2.
Yeah. Where's Gaz O'Brien playing at the minute? Is he playing fullback for
Lee, mate?
Lee.
Lee.
Yeah. Gaz O'Brien's had a decent season.
He has. He's been out. He was out though. He was at maybe
Yeah,
2, maybe 3 games.
But
yeah, I mean,
these last few games, Gaz
Yeah.
O'Brien has been. I mean, he made a mockery of us against Lee.
he did.
He played well again at the weekend. He's running the tries in.
He is. Right, let's just say a few quick hellos. Austin. Oh, here's a new one. Austin Copley. Good evening, Austin. How are you, sir?
Good evening,
to have
sir.
you with us. Kevin Ogden's with us as always. Lee Crofton, Andy Vernon. Good evening, Andy Hewitt, who he's liking O'Brien like you, Greg. So there you go. Right, we now move on to the Lee game. And at no point did I think that Lee were not going to win this game on Friday night. At no point did that even cross my mind. I just thought they would win it.
No, Hull. I think when we were talking about this last week, weren't we? That was that win over Warrington. Would it take too much out of the tank? And I think we all said it would. And I think it did. You know, Hull. I still think teams are going to Lee unprepared for what Lee are going to throw at them. I still think that.
Well, all I would say is whoever's doing the match prep for these teams need to be seriously spoken
but
to.
I still think
the stats don't lie. This would have been one of the tries of the season. Had a Pape kept hold of this ball, I'll just take us back to this opening bit of play here. This is wonderful stuff. Really nice. You know, look at this. Through hands. Fantastic. Lovely that from Latelli. And, you know, look at that Pape, how he ran onto that ball. If he could, if that goes in, that's as good as anything we've seen this season for me.
Yeah.
That try has summed Lee's season up for me. I think, was it you, Greg, that said it? People are preparing for Lee. They are the speed that they're playing at is up there amongst anyone in the league right now.
Yeah, more fool them.
Exactly.
More
yeah.
fool them.
Yeah.
You know, and Steph will probably tell us differently, but for me, I think that's probably been the reason why, or one of the big reasons why they're so far up there. Yes, they're playing as a team, but they're just the speed they're playing at. It's just mad confident.
Well, that speed is off the back of having the best pack in the league. I mean, and who'd have thought that at the start of the season? But, you know, Tom Amone, second highest meter maker. You've got Asiata, I think he's 4th. Mulhern went 5th this week. Kai O'Donnell's just outside the top 5. He's been out for a couple of weeks.
And then you've got the leading try scorer.
Exactly, because they can shift it to the edges. Yeah. So, you know, the middle unit are doing what they need to do. They're dragging the defenders in, and then they've got the pace outside that once the gaps appear, you know, they're just in. That's it. So he's been a lucky boy, finish. Charlie. There, he's been a lucky boy. Now we'll just show that again.
This is a ban.
We've seen them given, haven't we? I mean, I get he's slipping, slipping, but have seen them given.
His arms coming over.
Lucky boy. He's a very, very lucky boy. But yeah, I mean, Lee. I mean, just incredible, and I'm enjoying watching them. Genuinely, it's just they're playing. I mean, they've already done more.
This is a great finish.
He's done that all season, mate. That little one hand right in the corner he's been doing that all year, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Lee are the Salford of last year, aren't they?
Yeah. Griffin in good form, backing up his hat-trick last week, going in for his try. But yeah, I mean, Greg, Joe Mellor.
Yeah, it's a great, and he's not in every week. You know, he doesn't get, he's not playing week in, week out. So yeah, I'm pleased for the lad that he scored this. It's a great try.
Brilliant try, mate. Brilliant try. And I think, you know, and again, it's the fear. Again. But it's the fear of him passing it to the forward. You know, he expected it. I think it was Amone, I think, wasn't it? Was it Amone?
It was Amone,
yeah. Amone. So, you know, he had Amone there. He feinted to pass to Amone. All eyes went to Amone because why wouldn't he, the unit that he is? And he went, thank you very much. I'll just go through that lovely little sliding door. Where's Gwyneth Paltrow when you need her? That's what he was thinking right there.
So when we talk about tries of the weekend and the step from Thewlis, that step's as good as Thewlis' step.
It is indeed. So Gareth O'Brien got the 3 points. Robbie Mulhern got 2. Give a big shout out to Rob Mulhern on In the Sheds. And Mr. Mellor picking up the 1 point as we now go to the HJ. The Warrington Wolves taking on the Huddersfield Giants. Started well, the wire, has to be said. Danny Walker, with every passing week, is showing, well, he's just getting. You've probably not seen much of him. What were your impressions of Danny Walker, mate, on the day? Joel?
Sorry, it glitched out then. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, we're getting some glitches.
Okay, Joel, saying you saw Danny Walker up close. What were your impressions of him in terms of where this kid can get to in the game?
Very impressed. My first impression was, can we have him? I'm being honest. Seriously, yeah, it just, yeah, I were very, very impressed with all aspects of his game. Even when he didn't have the ball, you could see him shouting. He was making his voice heard.
Yeah.
They were doing everything that you would expect of someone who was wanting to prove the mettle in the Super League. That's for certain.
Yeah, he's a future captain of the club.
I would go as far as that. Couldn't somebody explain to me what that went up to the video ref for?
No idea.
It was well inside. Here it is.
Yeah,
Here's Mr. Fulis. Off he goes. Look at this here.
Look at this step. Whoa,
Patrick Swayze would have been happy with that one, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Yeah, he would have. Hey, he would have been, wouldn't he? Back in his day, he'd have loved that one. At what was it called? Kellerman's. He'd be strutting that on the dance floor. Yeah, Patrick. Beautiful stuff. Lovely stuff.
Are you really talking about Dirty Dancing?
Why not, mate? It makes for good entertainment.
Oh, it's an awful film.
This was nice. This was nice from Harrison.
Yeah.
Good backup play from Williams.
I'd say James Harrison had probably one of his best games in a wire shirt.
Yeah, he played well, mate.
I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Saying as he's a proper, not a second row, I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I had real concerns over, I don't know why, I thought Wrench and Fulis, real glimmer into the future of the Warrington Wolves there. Wrenchy and Fulis on the day, really good. Really good.
Yeah.
That try from Williams there, that were right in front of me, that. And as soon as I spent running around, I thought, oh, here we go. You could just see it in his eyes. There was no way he wasn't all that.
Peter Mattauti there doing his best impression of David Copperfield.
There is passing him on the back again.
Yeah, just allowing him through. I'll do a disappearing act for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that was
this to me is a try.
I thought it was a try. Joel?
Yeah, I did, to be honest with you. What annoyed me more than anything with that was just the defence. There was no talking there, and that's something we've done pretty well in that game.
There's no conclusive evidence that Stefan Ratchett touches that ball. None whatsoever.
I'd love to know what the stats are for Warrington Wolves try on field overturn versus every other team in the Super League. We seem to have had quite a few this year.
That was given as a try on field?
No, it was in the second half. It was Ben Curry's in the second half that was given as a try. And
no, but they both were. They both given us on field tries, and both were.
Oh yeah, but he actually gave Ben Curry's try.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Well, he nearly did.
This the one. This is it. Yeah.
This is it now. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's a try.
Mallow. You can't do that, referee.
No.
Cannot do that.
I mean, to be fair, I think Price does touch that, so it is a knock on. But the video ref isn't there. Then, you know
that's given. That's given.
And I'll be honest with you, at this point now, Joel,
that's poor defence.
It was, but mate, that last 20 minutes, the right edge of Huddersfield, Nagama, Farge, Price on the on the coming from around the back, Bibby on the wing, they caused us absolute pain throughout.
Yeah, this was a good try.
It was a brilliant try. I mean, I don't know if it did. I think again. I mean, Nagama there, did he get an answer? I don't know. But Joe, we spoke after the game. If there's one thing that Huddersfield can take out of this game, your right edge looked on.
It is, and that is what I've been calling for all season long. And I've said this, I'm sick of saying it now. We are constantly going out middle, thinking that we can take on everyone. Because last year we did, and that's fine.
Yeah,
not in last year. This year it's more about your pace of your players, and all our pace is on the right. So. If we want to play some expansive and exciting rugby, which we did, go on to the right, but then, we're still trying to go down middle all the time, and it's getting quite frustrating, and that's why people say it's so boring to watch, because it is.
Yeah.
Your middles don't win.
Well, I mean, again, I said on In the Sheds though, Joe. The shackles came off.
Oh, that's so forward.
They ditched the process for me. All this talk about process, it was ditched for the last 20 minutes. They had nothing to lose, so they started to play some rugby league. They looked a different side. They've got flamboyant. That's what makes Salford and probably Lee as well really entertaining to watch. They've got strike players and they're allowed to play. You've got an abundance of strike players. They need to be allowed to play in attack
I agree.
freely. None of this structure rubbish in attack. In defence, yeah, but not in attack. You've got to let flair players play.
Well, you play structure rugby if you've got structure players and players that are going to listen, do as they're told. Jake Connor is never going to listen to what a coach tells him. Let's be honest.
No,
he can't help himself. Even if he wants to, he can't help himself.
No, you're right. I think we spoke about this on
bizarre.
Saturday afternoon, didn't we?
Bizarre.
And you know, Will Price he does as he's told, but he does have a bit of a. If I see something on, I'm going to take it. Two is the exact same.
Yeah.
You've got if he's wanting to play 3 players that want to play expansive champion.
I love the reaction of that Warrington fan there. She was going absolutely bananas with Liam Moore.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Well, let's get to the Albert Goldthorpes. 3 for Danny Walker. Absolutely. No arguments there. 2 for Kevin Nagama. Again, no arguments there. I thought it was very good. The one that surprised me was 1 for Benny Cummy. Benny's been solid. He has been solid all year. Do I think he was in the top 3 best players on the park on Saturday?
No.
I'd have put Farge above him. I'd have put Williams above him.
Williams wasn't well.
Wasn't well. So there was a lot of players out there for me. Price, I'd have put Price above him, Joel.
For me, Harrison had an absolutely outstanding game.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, just going back to Price here for me, he had a torrid first 20 minutes. I mean, watch this here now. So you've got Big Sam coming out here. Oh, yeah. You don't want that. Then just to compound the misery, we go forward in the game. The next try, I can't remember who it was. Obviously, he's left on his backside there with Hewlett. He gets the big don't argue off Harrison with this. Look, get out of my way. Oof. Yeah. You know, he had a tough morning at the office there, the lad. There's no question. So to get him to come out and perform like he did after that, you know, all credit to Will Price. We were questioning, was he good enough for the NRL? Well, if he carries on playing like that,
he'll come up against players who are as big as Big Sam in the NRL.
He will.
Well,
indeed.
yeah,
he will indeed. Right, how impressed?
He was very instrumental to a lot of our gameplay that match. But like you said, the first 20, you know, it's just low on confidence though. You got to remember that as well. Just low on confidence.
You could see him grow throughout the game.
Yeah.
This looked a knock on for me from Whitley. Sorry, I think Whitley there. That first try. You know, when you're down on troops and you go to Catalan, you need the rub of the green going for you. Just watch this again here. Matt Whitley for me definitely knocks this on. And look where the referee is. Perfect position. Look at this. And watch it. What? That's it. His hand.
Yeah.
That's it. His hand and gone forward.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, not that they needed it. They walked it. But how impressed have you been with Catalan, Joel?
Very much so, because I predicted them at 7th at the start of the season. I don't know why. I just thought they didn't have as good of a team, but clearly I was very wrong. It's a far probably better team than they've had in a number of years. I'd say.
Yeah, I think I tipped them to finish outside the 6 this year.
I did, man. I did as well.
Maybe it's because, as you say, Joel, they are a team this year. Not as much reliance on individuals.
Yeah.
The recruitment's been spot on. And actually, as we sit here now, a long way to go. But, you know, favourites for the Shield?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially.
It depends how well they travel when it gets to September.
Mm.
You know, the last few weeks of the season, if it's still tight, how well... They're very good at home. They're very good over here when the weather's great.
Yeah.
Let's see how the last few weeks of the season hold out. Does the pressure get to them? We'll see. Yeah. We can't see.
That's where Sam Wood did his wrist and looked a painful one. I don't think we're going to be seeing much of Sam Wood in the not too distant future. I think he's going to be out for a bit. Yet again, you know, kicking at this point, Abdul's off. We saw at Warrington, you know, it's interesting actually because when KR came to Warrington, kicking was the difference. Huddersfield came, kicking was the difference. You don't see that often. A penalty being tapped from halfway for 2 points. How's McMeekin got this over? Can somebody tell me? I mean,
well, they've given up, haven't they?
They thought they had him. They thought they had him and let go of him. At what point do you shout hell?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they were going for shared bodily one for what, but there's just something not right about that.
That was a bit like the Parsi. Was it the Saints game?
Yeah,
He scored a try. Parsi, at what point does the ref shout held? He stopped moving for a couple of seconds, and then Parsi gets the ball out, and he's clearly held. But these things happen, don't they? These things happen in games.
A lot, though. Not one of them had their arms around his legs.
Yeah.
No. Well, exactly. Yeah, you get a big unit. It's very frustrating, isn't it, when you've got big players making meters after contact? It's not rocket science. They can't go anywhere without legs. Lovely try, this one. Look at it. And Morg still had plenty to do. Lovely. Look, the balance there. Beautiful. Lovely stuff from Arthur Morg.
Arthur Morg is class. Absolute class.
He is class player indeed. Good news, gentlemen. Alex Sharp is just in time for the Wakey Leeds game. Good evening, Alex. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. He's talking about video refs being at every game. Bless him. That's the least of your troubles at the moment, my mates.
I agree with him, though. I think video refs should be at every game.
I agree. Well, should we do it? Should we do it? For those who missed in the sheds, should we do it? Here it comes. Should we do it?
Yes.
The date, Sunday, the 11th of June. The time, approximately 4:45. 24-14 to Wakefield Trinity against Leeds. Yes, Wakey are off and running. Marvellous stuff. Yeah, oh, yes. Good on him. Good on him. Delighted for him. And really pleased for Applegarth. God, I mean, a penny for his thoughts this season. But, yeah, this was a proper display, wasn't it, from Wakey? Fair play to him.
You got to put in context the amount of players Leeds had out, though, mate. But you can only play what's
so did Wakey, mate. So did Wakey. You know,
you can only play what's
three debutants,
including a certain Frenchman
Frenchman that we'll see in a moment.
That we'll probably never see again.
We'll probably never see again. I'll tell you as well. We saw it at the HJ Morgan game at the HJ in the halves, and he was at it again in this.
Yeah.
He's really well.
Good little player.
Superb, mate. He's bang at it.
Forward than a halfback.
Here we go.
Just pause that, Dave. Just pause
that. Here we go. Go on.
How is that? I know we've not seen the result yet, but they're
7 games. 7 games. 7 games. Got 7 games. Been announced. 7 games.
You're telling me that could have potentially not only ended Myler's career, but put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. How is that worth less than name calling?
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
How is that worth less than name calling? I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to be controversial on this, but we've got to get some reality back in rugby league when it comes to disciplinary. We really do. That could have been a life-changing injury. And he gets 7 games. He gets less than somebody who's said something that somebody doesn't like.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm not saying the disciplinary panel is whatever, but they need to take a look at themselves, and they need to get a grip of what's going on.
I'm human at this, because when I heard about this match, when you watch that, and I watched it over and over again, you can see 2 things on that. He clearly threw him up as high as he possibly could in air. You could see it. He proper went for it. He squatted down. Then after, there was no care for him. He didn't hover over him and protect him from other people. Will Price did all them things, apologise, protect his man.
Got 10 games.
Got 10
games. Yeah, he got 10 games. You're spot on, Joel. Joel, you're spot on, mate.
It just befuddles me what's going on with that disciplinary panel. It really does.
There's a word you don't get every day of the week.
It's the only word without swearing.
Good man. Looking after our younger viewers. I love it.
I'm befuddled.
In terms of the Albert Goldthorpe, 3 for Smith, no arguments from me. 2 for Franco, 1 for Jowett. Going back to the Catalan game, it was 3 for Arthur Morg, 2 for Whitley, and 1 for Garcia. Again, no arguments from me on that. Gentlemen, about right, would you say, based on the games that you've seen there?
Yeah. I would have thought so. Yeah.
And also, another thing we don't mention, props to Wakefield, with 12 men, not 13, by the way.
Absolutely, for 35 minutes, mate, in the second half. And I think on, I think it was 55. Leeds nudged the head 14-12. So for Wakey to keep the heads, fair play.
Leeds got to play a sin bin quite near the end, didn't they?
They did, mate. It was Handley.
Yeah, that's it, Handley. Yeah.
Well, Steph Sale, mate. This is a good start. I love a good start. Steph, mate, you're doing well. You're doing well. Wakefield and Cass have 8 points, and 6 of those have come from Leeds. Hey, he's on fire, the boy. On fire. Tell you. Good lad. Outstanding. Right, here it is. Well, he's already put it in the chat. Stop the season now for the league. What an outstanding, absolutely outstanding season Leah having. I said last week it was only going to be delayed for a week. I felt Wigan would lose to Saints, and they did. I felt that Lee will be third this week, and they are. And again, the topsy-turvy nature of our league, gentlemen. Wigan Warriors start this round in third position, and by the end could have easily finished outside the top 6. Had they beaten Catalan, Wigan would have been outside the top 6. It's just unthinkable, isn't it? I mean, look how tight it is, and even the points difference. I mean, there's just hardly. I mean, with the exception of Catalan now, Catalan's got a really good cushion there. We won 7-4, but apart from Catalan, right in the mixer, in the mixer, isn't it?
Yeah, and look at that. I mean, this will hurt Joel especially, but no Yorkshire teams in that top 6. When was the last time that happened? Yeah.
You'd be concerned for the Yorkshire sides.
Joel's looking, thinking of Catalan in Yorkshire.
We recruit them.
Outside of Keith.
It's French. It's not American football. They can't move the Dragons to Huddersfield, mate. You know what I mean? It's not a franchise in that way, is it?
The things I've seen this week, Rugby League's capable of anything.
It is. Right, should we do team of the week, gentlemen?
Go on.
Let's do team of the week. Here he comes. The team of the week for round number 15. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 15. Here we go again, and at fullback on a field full of stars, none shone brighter than Jack Wellsby. And for us, his best performance, 2 tries, assists and try-saving tackles. Standard at number 2. Well, the battle for top try scorer continues to be fascinating, and with this brace, Josh temporarily went back to the top alone. Now he's tied up with Johnston once again on 18 apiece. Josh is loving life at the Leopards at number 3. Well, Kevin Agam led the fight back to the wire at the Halliwell Jones with a strong supporting cast of Farge and Price. Warrington could not live with him in the second half, and we're grateful to hear the final hooter. At number 4, one of the top centres in the division and returning to his devastating best is Tim Lafay. No other player ran for more metres in round 15, and Tim ensured that he had an end product when it counted. At number 5, well, it had to be Rhys Williams this week. His combination with Lafay was poetry in motion, scoring down the line, the Tiger time after time. At number 6, the man of steel contender got out of his sickbed to play a crucial role in gaining a much-needed win for the wire. George Williams had a lovely 1-2 with Harrison for his try and a pinpoint kick that put the Giants' defence in chaos for Duffy to score. At number 7, in our opinion, is Morgan Smith. He's not got the praise he deserves this weekend in leading Wakefield to their first win of the season. Who needs Leno and Gale when you have Morgan playing with passion, pace and quality? At number 8, back for his 4th time in 5 weeks, is Alex Walmsley, climbing the hard meter charge at a record pace and just about keeping out his compadre Ignatius Parsi this week. Destructive. At number 9, well, he floated like a butterfly and he got stung by a bee. Walker yet again showed the world that the number 9 jersey is in good hands at the wire for the long term. He gets better and better and he's fast becoming the complete player. At number 10, well, there's no doubt that David Fafita's return to Wakefield has had a profound effect on the team, with their first win coming in only his 2nd game. He put Allegedly firmly in his shade through 6 more carries, 58 more metres, 6 more tackleables. The big man's back. At number 11, keeping his place with week on week with an even better performance is Matt Whitley. He is the informed second row of the competition, and whilst his first trial of him to knock on about it, no one can knock Matty. And at number 12, well, it'll be another Matty. This time, Matty Ashurst. Oh, Mr. Wakefield, and yet again he was on the score sheet for his fourth try of the season. Like Smith, Ashurst is often overlooked, but not by Super League Raw. No one would have enjoyed this win more. Congratulations, sir. Enjoy the bubbly. And finally, at number 13, well, it's Cam Smith, who is the one constant in an inconsistent team at Headland this season. And it's now 4-4 in the battle of the loose forward position between John Asiata and Smith. This is perhaps one of the most unexpected and fascinating duels of the season. Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. This is your team of the week for round number 15. The team of the week for round number 15 in the back. 15 weeks have gone already in Super League. Absolutely outstanding stuff. There they are. They're the players. Yes, there'll be a few surprises there, I think. But starting with you, Joel, would you have changed any of them?
No, I think 8 and 13 are concreted in anyway now, so I might as well just stay as it is, or just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people went Parsi, but if you look at Parsi, yeah, he got the try. I get he got the try, and that deserves credit. But Walmsley, mate, if you watch Walmsley, Parsi was destructive at key points, but for consistency, 150 meters. I think Parsi only got about 83 meters in the game. Walmsley got over 150. He out-tackled him. He out-meted him. Walmsley was the best prop in that game.
What I'd like to see, though, I'd love to see Feature and Walmsley in a game together.
Tasty, wouldn't it? That'd be tasty. 3 Wakefield Trinity players, gentlemen, in the team of the week. Who'd have thought?
Fair play, and good on him. But can I say something, Dave? Don't ever sing again, please.
I'm better at Elvis, mate.
I don't know who that was.
It was a good rhyme, though. It was a good one. It was a good rhyme.
I like the lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics was great.
The lyrics were great, but mind you might win Britain's Got Talent next year, mate. Judging by the standards on that, so.
Can I just say though, I was just going to say to you, Dave, you're making this better every single week. All you've got left to do now is get out your guitar yourself and
have a little jam.
Well,
oh boy.
Well, that might be down to me. I'm the guitar player in the house.
There you go. Yeah, you can play the guitar. I'll do the singing. So there's the team of the week. Congratulations to them all. No, but congratulations to them all. And yeah, 4-4 now with the battle of the loose forward. Johnny Asiata and Cam Smith have been in and that's impressive, isn't it? In 15 rounds, 4 times a piece in 15 rounds for Asiata and Cam Smith.
And I think we may have had Jamie Bell in there a couple of times. If I remember serving right.
Minchell has been
once.
Minchell has been in.
Bell.
Harrison was in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know Minchell has been in there. We'd have to go and take a look at that, but yeah,
Bell's been in there. It might have been when he was second row, but I'm sure he's been in one of the teams of the week.
He has been in one of the team of the week.
Yeah,
really good, really good. Right, here comes we'll just quickly look at the prediction league. Here it comes.
Do we have to? Oh,
yeah, you didn't have a bad week. You didn't have a bad week.
Not?
No, not too bad now. So, worst performance of the week was me with 13 points. Then it was the fans forum with 14 points, Greg with 15, and Gary Schofield with 18, now putting him level with Greg.
Well, Gary Schofield predicted the Wakefield score, didn't he? We laughed at him.
He did.
We laughed. He must have had some inside information.
Well,
he must have.
Be fair, that was some shout from the Schofield. Yeah. Right. Let's just have a quick chat for 5 or 10 minutes on this. The Challenge Cup, of course, the weekend ahead in front of us. Gary Schofield's been at the prediction, so I'll just let you know where we are with this. We put a poll on, and at 25 to 8, it's still live. I don't know what it's doing now, but at 25 to 8, the fans forum, 736 votes have been cast today on this one, and they think that Warrington, St Helens, Salford, and Lee will contest the semi-finals. That's what the fans forum are saying. As for Gary Schofield, he thinks Lee, this is unbelievable. Lee will win by 52, bold. Salford by golden point, Saints by 14, and the Wire by 10. So he sees it in terms of who's going to go through exactly the same as the fans forum, but some of those score lines pretty juicy from Gary Schofield. So let's start at the top and work our way down. No doubt about it. Home advantage could be key here with the injuries that Hull KR have got. Salford appear to be in good health going into this. Obviously, Ackers is back as well for Salford. It looks like it's going to be a Jez Litton, Mikey Lewis partnership in the centres. So in the halves. Sorry for this one. Hull are in. I hate to say it, but they're in free fall at the moment. Joel, will come to you first. Game number 1, Hull KR Salford. What's your thoughts?
Salford are going to win this probably quite comfortably. KR are in too much of a spin at the moment. I think they're gonna really struggle because Salford they're just too hot at the moment.
Greg?
Yeah, Salford.
You're going Salford?
Salford. Yeah, and I think Salford will win quite convincingly, I think.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree with that one. York, Lee. I mean, it was interesting because when Saints played, it was Halifax, wasn't it? Was
Halifax in semi-final a couple of years ago.
No, in the last round, did he say?
Oh, in the last round, yeah.
Batley or Halifax?
Halifax, I think it was.
See, Halifax.
Yeah,
and we all thought, they're going to put like a right cricket score up, and they didn't. But can York put on a performance?
You froze there on us a minute, Dave. But
I said, can York put on a performance? I can't say anything but a Lee win. But
I think York will put on a performance. It's a tight little ground. It's a bit like the Lee Sports Village. And I think if there was a potential for a shock, it would be this game. But I think that Lee will win. I don't think they'll put 52 points on them. I think they'll probably win by about 20 points, Lee.
Joel?
Yeah, it's not often you see anybody other than a Super League team in the quarters. So York are going to back the team big time. Yeah, obviously, I'm seeing a Lee win, but it's certainly guaranteed not to be a nil score. That's for certain.
Yeah. Then arguably the tie of the round. Wigan against Warrington. This is going to be. I mean, Warrington aren't in great form. Yes, they got the win at the weekend, and only just. I said to Joel, I think if that game went on another 5 minutes,
another 5 minutes, we were beat.
Yeah, I think Huddersfield in the ascendancy. Wigan have had 2 absolute hammerings. Very rare. I can't remember a time where Wigan have been beaten convincingly on 3 consecutive occasions. It's at the DW. Could go either way. I think it's one of those games. Whoever turns up on the day wins it.
Yeah, for me, I think Wigan would rather play anybody else other than you guys. In my opinion, and not always right, Warrington's pack is far too strong for Wigan. You've probably got one of the strongest.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Well, the thing is, in my opinion, I think you've got a better pack than Saints by a touch, and Wigan just can't compete. So yeah, they're going to lose again. They're not winning this.
You're right, mate.
I like your confidence.
I hope you're right, Greg.
I think if any game's going to go to golden points, it's this one.
Right, okay.
Which I know we're talking about the Challenge Cup, but this brings me on to something I was reading this week, that there were some proposals in a bid to look after player welfare that the games will be reduced from 80 to 60 minutes in the future, and yet they're still not getting rid of golden point. It doesn't sit with me. But Wigan Warrington, I think that could very well go to golden point. And if it does, I think Warrington will squeak it.
Fair enough.
Warrington are either going to win this comfortably,
or
it's going to be a squeaky 1 point to golden point win. But I still think Warrington are going to win it.
Right. Well, I hope you're both right on that one. Obviously,
I think a lot depends where the difference lies here with the goal kicking, and Harry Smith has got to turn up for Wigan with his kicking boots on.
It has
because Ratchford will ruin him.
It is a massive concern, isn't it, for Wigan? That
it worries you that this could be the game that Harry Smith actually decides that he's going to turn up with his boots.
Yeah, well, we were talking, weren't we, before we went on air in terms of Harry Smith. I think was it 27 missed kicks? I said it was this season.
You're not going to win a grand final or a Challenge Cup.
No, not if you
with that number of missed kicks.
No, you're spot on.
You know, I'm the eternal pessimist when it comes to Warrington, but even I think they're going to win this one.
Right. Okay. And then finally,
there's a kiss of death.
And finally, Hull FC taking on Saints. Hull will miss Clifford badly in this one. They will really miss him badly. But even I think that said, such is the form that Saints are now in. Those two back-to-backs, you know, the Saints will be going there supremely confident for this one. I fear for Hull in this. So much so, I think the Salford OKR would have been a better spectacle in the end on the telly than this one.
There's one factor that you need to take into account, the fact that they played Wigan.
In terms of energy.
In terms of energy, in terms of emotion, in terms of what it's taken out of them, the heat. That's the only thing that would kind of make me think that this isn't going to be a walkover. I still think Saints are going to win, but Tony Smith is a canny coach. And I think you have to take into account the kind of how drained Saints will be after what is basically their biggest game of the season.
Fair play, Joel.
But I think Saints by about 10, probably.
10 for Saints, Joe?
Yeah, it's not going to be a blowout.
Yeah, scoreline wise, I'm probably there with Reggie. I think Saints are going to be tired. They're going to be tired because they've really put in some big performances. And obviously the heat is another thing. They've got some big lads, and they're going to tire out if the heat continues, and it's meant to get somewhere near 30 degrees. So that's going to be tough. Hull, thankfully, are no longer reliant on one player anymore, so they are a completely different team to what they were, and they're not dreadful either. So
Litton's back, isn't he? They're saying Litton's back for this one.
Yeah.
Well, great. So that'll be good. Yeah, I see it within 10. We'll probably win it.
Are they going to put Hoy in the halves then, do we think? Is that what they're going to do? Because Litton's a full-back, Hoy in a standoff, maybe?
Quite possibly.
Up to scrum half? Is that what they're going to do?
You don't want to change it when you're playing up against a team like Saints.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of Hull fans have said that Litton was playing better at full-back than Hoy was. I mean, Hoy had a good game, against us at Magic, but certainly Litton, I think for about 2 or 3 weeks was electric, wasn't he, at fullback?
Yeah.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see what they do there.
The thing for me is the Tony Smith factor. He outcoached Darryl Powell at Magic. Now he could very well outcoach Paul Wellens, who's a bit of a rookie coach. On
that note, where have all the Wellens Out Brigade gone? Where's Wellens Out Brigade gone on social media? Where have all they gone? Where have they gone? Yeah, where have they gone? All the Wellens Out Brigade. They've disappeared all of a sudden. All of those, it's Cunningham Mark II. Where are they? Where have all they gone? And we were saying, and one thing that we can say, we said on here, he needs time. He needs time.
Well, fair play to him, Dave. It's been half term. They've been abroad for a couple of weeks. They'll be back. They'll be back on Sunday. They'll be back Saturday tea time.
Happy days.
There's an expectation with Saints now, because it's great that they've won so many times, but now it's kind of bitten them a little bit because the fans expect to win every single game. They expect to win every single title, and that isn't good for the club because fans like that are just so that they're never in the middle. It's so either the left or right, and they're just it's comical.
Bonkers, mate. It's bonkers, mate. I mean, I can understand. I mean, is this the third year that Watson's been at Huddersfield now, or his second, third? So you sort of get the rumblings at Huddersfield. You sort of get it. Would I want to see him lose his job? No, but you sort of get it. But for Wellens, I think within 4 or 5 games of being in charge, it's Cunningham Matter too, and all the rest of it. it was just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Again, they didn't take into consideration what travelling down to Australia takes out of players.
Yeah.
We saw it after the World Cup in the Premier League. After the World Cup in Qatar in the Premier League, they'd gone to like 100-degree heat, playing in a desert.
Yeah.
And some players needed time to get over it. Some players need time to get over the emotion.
Yeah.
They are human beings at the end of the day.
And there was a lot of emotion, mate. There was a lot of emotion there. That was a huge win.
It takes it out of players. You know,
Yeah.
You know what? I remember a couple, many years ago, United won the league with 10 games to spare, and the emotion was gone. They didn't win another game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everybody.
That's why I think Saints. Our Saints could struggle on Saturday because the impact, the emotion.
Nah, I think they'll win it comfy, mate. But I'm with you.
The adrenaline of the win. But
they'll win.
The amount of adrenaline that goes into a game like that, it can sometimes wipe you out for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. After the Huddersfield game, I was wiped out for 2 days. It's
but that was
very
nothing to do with
emotional.
adrenaline.
Very emotional.
That was to do with pale ale.
Right, gentlemen. Well, believe it or not, that is another 1 hour and 25 minutes of chat, rugby league chat, done and dusted for another week. Really enjoyed the round the grounds with you fellas, and I really enjoyed your company again, Joel.
Good to see you, Joel.
Really good to see you, your family, and it was great to have a beer with you, pal. And we'll be having more over the many seasons to come, mate. So thanks very much for joining us. Thought we'd have you on the show tonight. Having played you at the weekend, it's always a pleasure to get a little bit of insight over the Pennines.
Yeah, thank you. It was good. No, I enjoy it. Thank you.
You're a top man. And enjoy Challenge Cup Rugby League, which is, of course, going to be on all games televised on Viaplay and on the BBC. I think the BBC have got the Hull and the Wigan game, and the other two are on Viaplay. So,
can I just give a big shout out to Warrington Wolves women who are playing Saints in the Challenge Cup?
Absolutely.
Come on, Wire.
Come on the wire. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And a big shout out as well to the likes of Featherstone. Featherstone, 6 points clear now, I think, in the Championship. Featherstone, and Featherstone needs to be looking at Lee. If Lee can do it, Featherstone can do it. And there's a
for the game.
There's a traditional name in rugby league. Featherstone Rovers. Hey, there's a hell of a team. As always, we're not affiliated with anybody. We do this out of love of our hearts, and we hope you enjoy it. As always, we will be back this time next week. We'll have a quick fleeting eye over the Challenge Cup, and then, of course, we will get into the predictions for round number 16, all the usual treats, and more debate next week. So, Joel, yet again, thanks a lot for your time, mate. Enjoyed your company, Greg. All the very
best. Cheers, Joel.
Cheers, guys.
See you soon.
And we're going to end with the top performers of the season thus far. Have a good week, everybody. See you next week.